Hello everyone and welcome to our third session on series. So this time we are doing alphabet series and not a usual number series. Now how is an alphabet series different from a number series? Because here we are not going to use numbers. In fact, we would be using the basic alphabets in the English language, that is from A to Z. Let's understand how it is different from number series and what kind of questions are being framed on alphabet series. So the various ways in which questions can be formed are very much like the number series. Like we can have an addition series, we can have a subtraction series, we can have a series in which both addition and subtraction has been done. We can have series having more than one part. We can have series having group of letters as its element. We can have alphanumeric series, which are going to be a combination of alphabets as well as some numbers. And then there's something called continuous pattern series also. So we will understand each one of these variant of alphabetical series in detail by taking some examples. So let's get started first. And the first one to come here is addition series. So the series that I have in front of me is A, E, I, M, Q. For your convenience, I have also written the English alphabets here. So after A, if I am reaching E, I'm actually making a gap of or a shift of 3 alphabets. What I've done, I've dropped 3 alphabets after A and then I've picked up E. After E, I am seeing that I've taken I. So again, I have dropped 3 alphabets in between, F, G, H. So I can say what I'm doing here, I'm doing plus 3 places with each alphabet here. After I, again J, K, L are dropped and I've picked up M. So after Q, the next alphabet that we should pick up, it should be U. We will be dropping R, S, T, and after Q, U should be the next element in this series. Let's have a look at another one. B, C, E, H, L, and then question mark. Okay, when I'm moving from B to C, I'm moving one place. From C to E, I'm not moving one place. Rather, I'm moving 2 places. From E to H, I'm moving 3 places. H to L, I'm moving 4 places. When I'm moving 4 places, that means I'm dropping 3 alphabets in between. So after L, I have to move 5 places. That means I will drop 4 alphabets in between. I'll be dropping M, N, O, P, and the alphabet to come in place of question mark should be Q. So I hope addition series is now clear to you. You would see a constant difference also, or you could see a question where the difference between the alphabets is increasing in a pattern or in a gradual manner. Just opposite to addition series, we would have subtraction series. So the first series we have PMJ, GD. So after P, I have moved to M. I have dropped 2 alphabets in between. After M, we have moved to J, then G, then D. So here we are seeing we are doing again minus 3. We are moving 3 places backward with each alphabet. So after D, I will drop 2 alphabets in between. And the alphabet to come in place of question mark would be A. Let's take a look at one more example. POMJF. So P to O is like moving one place back. O to M is moving 2 places back. Then M to J is 3 places back. Here 4 places back. So here after F, I have to move 5 places back and my answer would again be A. So similarly as addition series, in subtraction series also we can say either we are subtracting a constant number or the number to be subtracted is increasing in a gradual manner or in a specific pattern. So this is very similar to our usual number series. Now addition subtraction series. Let's understand this question. A to E. So I'm moving 4 places ahead. But E to C, coming back 2 places. C to G, again moving 4 places ahead. G to E, coming back 2 places. E to I, again moving 4 places ahead. So now I have to, if I follow the pattern, I have to come back by 2 places. So when I'm at I and I move 2 places back, I will reach alphabet G here. So here we have seen that alternatively we are moving ahead and alternatively we are coming back. And the pattern here which was followed was +4 -2 +4 -2. Very similar to the number series thing. Series having more than one part. Now this is very similar to the number series having more than one series in themselves. Okay, so if I try and connect C to V, then V to D, or W, then E, then X, I could not find any meaningful pattern. But if I look at the alternate terms, that makes sense to me. For example, C to D, D to E, E to F, to G. Now this seems to be part of one series. Okay, we are moving ahead one place every time in the alphabetical order. So after G, we should have H in the place of question mark. Whereas the other series, V to W, W to X, X to Y, Y to Z. If I had one more question mark here, then the next element in this particular series would have been A. Because when I'm moving one place ahead from Z, I will again start from A. So this is a alphabetical series having more than one series in itself. So here we can see, rather than having one single alphabet as being an element of the series, we now have a group of alphabets as being the single element of that particular series. So here, let's see what is the pattern here. If I see the first alphabet, if I rewrite here F, L, J, I, O, M, and I want to find the next one here. Now the first alphabet, C to F, is like +3. We have moved 3 places ahead. And then F to I. So the first alphabet of each element in the series is found out by moving 3 places ahead. Similarly, when I move 3 places ahead from I will get L. Let's see what's happening with the second element. After I have L. So that's again +3. After L, I have O. Again +3. So after O, if I move 3 places ahead, I will get R here. Let's see what's happening with the third alphabet in this series. G to J is again +3. J to M is again +3. So M +3 would give me the third alphabet of the term that I am trying to find out here, and that should be P. So my answer here would be L, R, P. Let's understand one more example. The example that I've taken here is DKM FJP H, I, S, J, H, V, and then we have to find out what should be the next element of this particular series. Let's see how each term has been derived here in this particular series. So when we look at the first alphabet, D to F, so there's a movement of 2 places. F to H, movement of 2 places. H to J, again 2 places. So after J, I should get L as the first alphabet. Let's see what's happening with the second alphabet. K to J, that's I'm moving 1 place back. J to I, 1 place back. I to H, 1 place back. And from H, when I'm going 1 place backward, I'll be reaching G here. Now let's see what's happening with the third alphabet here. From M to P, when I move from M to P, I am going 3 places in the forward direction. From P to S, the same pattern. S to V, the same pattern is here. And from V, when I move 3 places ahead, I will get Y. So L, G, Y is my answer here. So we have seen here 2 examples. In one of the example, each alphabet was having the same forward movement, like +3, +3 and +3. In the second example, we have seen each alphabet, or the first alphabet of each term was following one particular movement, that is the forward movement of 2 places. The middle alphabet was following one alphabet backward movement. The third alphabet was following 3 places forward movement. So this is how we solve the group of letters in series questions. Now let's understand what our alphanumeric series are all about. As I've shared earlier, alphanumeric series are a combination of alphabets and numbers. Let's see how they have to be dealt with. The first series that we have is C5, F4, E7, H6, and we want to find out the next one. Now C happens to be third place alphabet. So I can see if this is third place alphabet, 3 plus 1 happens to be 4. 5 plus 1 is 6, and we have 6th place alphabet F here. 4 plus 1 is 5, and then we have the 5th place alphabet here, which is E. F happens to be 6th place alphabet, plus 1 gives me 7 here. 7 plus 1 is 8, and we have kept the 8th place alphabet, which is H, and E is 5th place alphabet. E plus 1 is 6. So now moving in the same pattern, 6 plus 1 is 7. H is 8th place alphabet, plus 1 gives me 9. But as we are seeing in this series, we are keeping the first element of the first term as an alphabet. So in place of 7, we would rather have the 7th alphabet. So our answer should be G, 9. Let's have a look at one more example here, which is 1 CV, 5 FU, 9 IT. Then we want to find the missing term, and then 17 OR. So let's understand how we are getting the numbers. So after 1, we have 5, then we have 9. We want to find out the missing one, and then we have 17. So as we can see, we are adding plus 4 here. So if I add plus 4 to 9, we get 13, and if I add plus 4 to 13, I'm getting 17. So that's fitting with my pattern. The number has to be 13. Let's see what is being done with the alphabets here. After C, I can see F, then I, so while moving from C to F, there's a forward movement of 3 places. From F to I, the forward movement of 3 places. And when I move 3 places ahead from I will get L. And after L, again, if we move 3 places ahead, we will reach O. So that's confirming with the last term. As far as the last alphabet is concerned, after V, we are getting U, then T, then one which has to be found out, and then R. So here we can see we are moving one place back. So after T, if I move one place back, I'll get S. So the missing term, or the term in between that I'm supposed to find out, should be 13 LS. I hope it is clear to you now. Now coming to the last pattern in which questions are being framed on the questions are being framed under alphabet series is the continuous pattern series. And how these questions are being done, these questions are being done by using the options. So what are we supposed to do here? We can see a series here, BA dash B dash AAB dash A dash B, and then we have 4 options here. Now what we will be doing here is that we will be putting we will be evaluating each of the options and we'll see if there can be a meaningful pattern. Let's say when I'm evaluating option number A, then this A will go into the place of the first blank, B will go into the place of second blank, this will go in this place, and this will go in this place. And then I will have to see, can I see any kind of pattern that is being followed here? So I cannot see any pattern that is being followed here. So I cannot go with A. Then I evaluate option number B. So I have placed the first A in the first blank, then B in the second blank, another B in the second blank, and the A in the last blank. So do we have a pattern here? Probably yes, because if we look closely and if we look at this way, that BAAB, yes, I can see a pattern here, that BAAB. I'm getting a group of alphabets which follows a pattern, BAAB. So by putting in the option number B, I can see some kind of pattern. So my answer here should be option number B. So let's have a look at one more example here. As we can see, there are 3 alphabets that are being used here, A, B, C, and the series goes like dash BC dash CA dash ABA dash C dash CA. Evaluating the first option, that means putting in the alphabets given in the first option in the respective blanks. So when I do that, I see that what I'm getting here is something like this. So I will evaluate in groups of 2 or in groups of 3. Can I see some kind of a pattern? If I do that, I can't see any pattern. Any meaningful pattern is not appearing to me. So option A cannot be our answer. Exploring the second one, or evaluating the second option. So B, A, B, A, C. Again, making group of 2 alphabets or 3 alphabets or 4 alphabets, we'll have to see, can I see some kind of pattern that is being, or some kind of trend that is being followed here, which is not happening here. Evaluating the third option and putting in the alphabets in the respective blanks. So now evaluating as in the group of 2 alphabets or 3. Now when I evaluate as a group of 3 alphabets, I can see one particular pattern or trend here is that when I make groups of 3 alphabets A, B, C, then I see B, C, A, then I see C, A, B, then again I see A, B, C, and then ACA. This is not making any sense. Exploring the fourth option. Let's see if this makes any sense to us. So ABC, when I'm dividing into a group of 3 alphabets. Now this seems to follow a trend that ABC, then BCA, then CAB, then again ABC and BCA. So my answer here should be option number D. I'll go with option D here. So in this kind of alphabet series, it becomes slightly time consuming because we will have to put the values given in each options and then evaluate. Does it make sense to me? Can I see some pattern here? Can I see a kind of a trend that is being followed here? And then we will have to go with that particular option. So it lot depends on your observation skills. Can you identify a pattern? Okay. So I hope now you are now well acquainted with all the variations that can be possibly framed under alphabet series, and now you are going to rock the alphabet series questions whenever they are coming in your exams. Do solve the practice exercise with this session and note down your doubts. Thank you. Thanks a lot.